You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
We interrupt this program for a special report by WKMU.
Staten Island, New York. This is 87.9 WKMU, interrupting your scheduled broadcast. Happy holidays. We're here to ruin a couple things about Christmas. We're bunkered down, so you'll never find us.
Yeah, don't even look, because you're not going to find us, and we're definitely not in an apartment here. But we are
this is a secret location.
with our families,
Yeah.
and then we got this nice little room. We got the fireplace going. It's like really nice and toasty in here,
It's
actually.
nice, yeah.
Though that might be the wine. This is some good wine, actually.
I know. House Guy bought a wine called Ménage à Trois. I'll just
It's
let
delicious.
you guys think about that one.
It's delicious. I guess that's it. So let's just get right into it then.
Let's get right into it then.
Io Saturnalia. Now, that's actually what I learned through this research, is that's basically how people used to say Merry Christmas to each other back in the day. So it was like a greeting, like how you say, "Oh, Merry Christmas." This is what they did. And why I bring up Saturnalia is just like Halloween. I also check out our Halloween episodes.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, is this pagan times that they would say,
Yeah.
Yo, Saturnalia? Nice. Cool. Okay.
So another time where pagans had traditions and the Christian church came in, was like, "Oh, I like these. I'm taking them." And like just made them their own. And so, like I said, check out a Halloween episode. We go into a little bit what Halloween really came from.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised how far back Halloween actually goes.
Yeah, we love Halloween too, so yeah, definitely check it out. And we love Christmas too. Sky's big on Christmas. I'm big on Halloween. And it was a nice treat to find out that Christmas and Halloween have a lot more in common than we think or thought. And that's cool.
Yeah, so basically Saturnalia was it was a holiday that the pagans used to celebrate between the 17th to the 25th.
Yeah.
And many of the traditions that they did are actually still left over. And this includes gift giving, singing, being merry, decorating of trees. Like all the things that we think of Christmas was actually part of Saturnalia.
Wow.
So I want to get into a little bit of it, like each one. Like I want to start with gift giving.
Okay.
Like gift giving is a symbolic thing for Christmas. Do you know what that was?
I'm assuming it had to do with the three kings bringing Jesus some gifts on the 25th, air quotes.
Yeah, supposedly. But we all know Constantine actually changed it to the 25th to coincide with the Saturnalia, to sort of bring over the religious people to Christianity.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, this is the new religion and it's going to pop off, so you want to get in on the ground floor.
Right. I also I haven't read the Bible cover to cover, but I heard that they don't mention Jesus ever having a birthday. Like nobody really knows when his birthday was, but it definitely wasn't cold when it was his birthday. It wasn't in the wintertime.
Well,
That's
they
all
also
we
had the
know.
desert too, so who?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so who could be really? It could have been cold.
Yeah, it's all a blur, I guess. Back then, it was all a blur.
What you really have to pay attention to is if the wise men are wearing tight-fitting clothing, it's probably colder because you want to
Okay.
trap the body heat in. If they're doing loose flowing, because if you've noticed in the Middle East, they wear these long, like I don't want to say gowns, but they're long gowns.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
And they, I always thought like, how could they wear that and not be hot? And it's because the texture of
Yeah,
the
that shit
material it's
probably
made
feels
of.
mad nice.
Yeah, the wind goes up, hits everything.
The sun is being blocked, but the air is coming through. That sounds wonderful.
So for Saturnalia, it was like sort of the same thing. It was to say thanks to Saturn, which was their god of, I hate this word. Like with you in Massachusetts is me this word, horticulture. Did I get that right?
Agriculture?
Agriculture. There you go. Like I said, like artichoke.
Artichoker.
So they give gifts as a way to, to like give thanks to him. Like, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool thing.
Okay. I wonder why they followed Saturn, but is it because it looked like a star to them? Because
I-
sometimes we
you're
look
switching.
in the sky.
I'm sorry. I'll let you continue that.
No. What?
Saturn was named after the god. The god wasn't named after the planet. So to them, Saturn wasn't a planet. They didn't. I don't think they knew what Saturn
I
was.
was trying to say that the
I could
way
be
that I
wrong.
saw it. Okay, so it's the word Saturnalia doesn't come from the word Saturn. Is what
It
you're
does. It comes from the god Saturn, though, not the planet Saturn.
Gotcha. I did get confused because sometimes we could see Saturn in the sky. Like, if you guys ever see a really bright star, it might be a planet.
We actually have a
And-
picture of Saturn. We took a picture.
No, it was Jupiter. Oh no, you're right. Saturn too.
Yeah, we got
During
both of
the super blue moon, Saturn was visible to us.
Speaking of
And,
which, Blue got me the best gift for
I
Christmas.
did.
She got me a telescope. So, but every day it's been cloudy, so I have not
Right.
like one chance to look
It's
at the
true.
sky yet.
It's funny because like 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve, it was like, oh, cloudy skies. It looked nice. I actually have a picture.
Yeah,
that I
the blue
took.
was out and bright. I'm like,
Yeah, I took a picture that it looked cool because I was walking the dogs and I'm like, oh, the sky. Like, I'm always taking pictures. Anything I see that's fascinating, I'll
yeah.
take a picture
I
of it.
switched up my tradition this year. I didn't open up gifts on Christmas. I went with Blues culture and how they like to do
Well, you
Christmas
did
Eve
do
gifts
Christmas.
at midnight. Well, it was midnight, yeah. So it technically is
Yeah.
Christmas, but I like that because part of me is like, oh, excited to play with stuff, but like it's midnight. You still have some time to play with some stuff,
You
and
know,
then you
some
can wake
people-
up and they're there already just to play with.
Some
or
people
do,
don't
use.
even wait till midnight. Some people do it Christmas Eve, like sometime in the nighttime. Like, I know, yeah.
Oh, like anytime after dinner, like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing on TV.
I
Let's
think
go
it's
pick
time
gifts.
to open the gifts, yeah. And they'll
can
do
see that.
And then Christmas, they will just chill.
You know, I don't know why, but I really miss TV schedules. Like I think there's just way too much choices, and there's way too much out there to be flooding for me to pick something.
Mm-hmm.
But for a couple channels to give me a couple different choices, like okay, and like oh, it's on at 8, so you better be home at 8.
I do kind of miss that. I always think about this all the time, but I used to watch One Tree Hill, and it came on at 8 o'clock, and I always made sure I had a little snack for like at 8:30, like midway through the show, I'll eat a little snack.
That's cool.
And then, yeah, that was like my
my
little
mom,
thing.
Mama actually did TGI Fridays. So every time we watch Boy Meets World, you know, Family Matters,
best
Full
shows
House,
ever.
yeah, and you know we would have snacks. We would have friends over. I remember my sister's friend Raphael would come over.
That's
My
nice.
friend Devin would come over, and then yeah, it was pretty
That's
awesome.
nice. My mom never liked people over.
Well, this was before my house was a mess. Like at that time, it was just like yeah, have people over. Look
My
how
house
great my
wasn't
house
a
looks.
mess though. My parents were always really anal about sweeping,
I can
mopping,
see you. I can see that
dishes.
though. Like you're home and you want to be alone. Like if you wanted to
Yeah.
be with other people, you would go to their houses or go
I
out
guess
to
they would
eat,
never
or-
visit anybody either. Like they are.
Your
just
parents don't like
weird.
people, bro. All right, so
But they do. Like it's just weird. They're just weird.
it took them 3-4
They're the
years
most
to like me.
antisocial social people that I've
No,
ever met.
it took them 3 to
Social
4
antisocial
years
people.
to like me. And the one time he liked me, I saw him in the street. He was coming home to see
Oh
you guys
my
for
God,
Christmas,
here we go.
and he sees me and he gives me like the grumpiest look, bro. And he went up the stairs and I said, "Feliz Navidad," and he whipped his head around and smiled and said "Feliz Navidad también" or whatever it was, you too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then the next time I saw him, he actually the next year was for Christmas, and he offered me a beer. He said, in Spanish, we're talking, we're making
Yeah.
jokes. The little Spanish I know just worked out perfectly.
Yeah. You know, it's a funny story, but
Is this another tangent?
yeah, it is. So maybe I'll just tell you later. Because it's a long story.
It
I'll just
depends on
remind you
how
for
long
later.
the show's gonna go, and then I can always edit.
You'll have to edit this out, I think. But,
All right, so go ahead. So just go ahead.
Nah,
Maybe we'll start a Patreon,
My
and if you
sister-
pay the Patreon, you'll hear this.
you know, my mom, she bought a new nightstand, like a new, not nightstand, a new TV stand. And she asked my sister to build it. So she brought her boo over to do it too. So they were both in the house, like to build this like TV stand. And then my dad comes home and he's like, oh, hey, like, boo, like, oh, I said her name. My sister's boo, like, can I get you like a beer or whatever? Like, I'll go to the store and get beers. And then my sis goes, no. And my mom is like, no, like, leave it. Like, they're fine. They don't need to get beers. And he's like, no. My dad's like, no, I'm gonna give him the guy a beer. And then my sister's boo, he's like, yeah, give me a beer. And then like, they're like, because he drinks a lot. My sister's boo drinks a lot.
Oh,
I
so
guess.
she wanted him to
So
slow
my
down.
sis wanted him not to drink, and then my mom is like, well, She's
She
saying
just wants
not
them
to drink.
out. She's just like, yeah,
like, let's just
finish
get
your
this
job
done.
and
It's
get
true.
out.
It's true. That's probably it too.
But I get your dad. You're like,
But
you're
my
doing
dad's
something.
like, what?
Yeah.
I'm getting in the beer. Like, this
If
is
I
me. This is
came
my
home-
job.
yeah.
This is what I do.
If I came home and somebody was helping you to do something because I could have done,
Yeah.
but I was at work, hell yeah, we'll offer you a beer.
I don't know. I just think it's pretty sweet.
Offer you a taco too or something. Like,
I think it's sweet.
some
I think
taquitos.
like, I don't know. Like, I know that drinking is a big issue for a lot of people, but I think it's nice. And we're Hispanic. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is this is what we do.
So speaking of stuff like that, singing, merriment,
Mm-hmm.
it goes hand in hand with this time of year, but it also went hand in hand in Saturnalia.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays we do it as to celebrate that we're alive and that Christ saved us, our souls, and to be nice to each other, to be like, hey, he died. Let's not make life tough for each other. So Saturnalia was sort of the same way, but they would do it because it represented the time when gods and man were in perfect harmony. And there was no wars and there was no fighting. Everyone was just nice to each other. And this just sounds like a way for people and cultures to maybe extend common decency more.
Yeah.
Like, hey, be nice to each other, sing with each other, go
They're
and
like,
dance,
it's too cold
bro.
to be fighting. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
like, yeah, warm up. Like, stop being jerks to each other. There's no reason. Like, sometimes I think we need to put ourselves in other people's shoes, and cultures do stuff like that. I know Muslim religion, they do Ramadan where they don't do anything, like eat, have sex, smoke, anything for the day, to feel how bad it is or how hard it is to go without something you really love and enjoy. Hey everybody, this is Future Editing Sky, and I realized that I made it sound like it's only a day, but it's actually for a whole month.
It's
and-
intense. To me,
Yeah.
that sounds really intense.
But they still get to eat at the at the end of the night. I mean, it's a whole day not eating. I'd probably lose so much weight, but I think it's a nice. And then it goes hand in with this stuff. It's like it's just nice to just treat your fellow man nicely. It doesn't do much to be nice to each other. I love where we live. Like everybody's so nice here. It's making me like extra nice. Blue is always complaining I'm too nice.
I don't complain. I'm nice too. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Yo, you're super nice. Yo, telescope.
Wha-
No, you are nice. You are. You do a lot of things that I wouldn't even think of doing. And so when you do it, it really gets to me because I don't expect, I wouldn't do that. But like, I really appreciate it because I guess I wouldn't do that for other people because it's only like something I like. So, you're the best. Don't worry about it. So, Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Now, we do it to celebrate peace and renewal. Christmas trees and bows, though, because they're like basically anything evergreen has been around.
Yeah, like so in the beginning people celebrated decorated their houses with these evergreen, like I guess branches. Back then they would just pull off like branches off the
Snippets.
tree, like snippets and stuff, and tie them up and then decorate their house like that. And it sounds really cool, and
I
I'm
bet you
imagining
the house
that it
smells
smells
great.
really
Yeah.
good. Yes.
That's fresh
Yeah.
pie. I can't. It's too far. Okay, I got you.
I tried to give Sky a high five. He didn't
It
want
worked,
to.
but it worked. We got it.
But yeah, long before Christmas, people were putting these plants inside their house because they just symbolized like life and getting rid of illness and like getting rid of evil.
It was also like a
'Cause,
reminder too that spring is coming.
Yeah. So people back then, even before Christmas, before Christianity, were attracted to plants that would last through the winter time.
Yeah, it
And
must
to
have been like
them-
magic for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything
I was
else
thinking that.
died except these
Yeah,
plants.
yeah.
And they're still greener than ever.
And it was to remind people that spring was gonna come back, the sun was gonna come back, it was gonna get warm again, and I think it's really nice.
Yeah, because I bet you that comes from a time when it got cold. Like you just like, even now, like if we had a long winter, like a couple years ago, it felt like 4 or 5 months of winter,
Yeah.
and it just felt like it was never gonna end. So like it's nice to have like that reminder in the house, like you could touch it, smell it, like all right, you're coming. It's almost here.
Yeah, honestly, I think next year, because Sky really wants to have a tree in the house, and I think that I heard that these fake trees are really bad for the environment, and I think I really do want to do a real tree next year, and I think it would
that'd be
go
cool.
more into like our witchiness, like
The Wiccan.
the
Wiccanism of
yeah, we would feel more closer to like
Yeah,
what
because I
people
want
did
to be
back in the day.
buried underneath a weeping willow tree.
Me too.
I think they're beautiful. It's like shade. It's just really great.
And like here at WKMU, crying, we think that's beautiful.
Oh, your body and your soul needs to cry. I like
Yeah.
to watch TV shows and movies that make me cry.
Yeah.
The saddest one. Oh my
That's
god.
why we love Disney in this house too.
Yes, like the saddest moment I can even think of. Like the first thing that comes to mind is always Inside Out,
Oh yeah.
and it used to be Mufasa. Like long live Mufasa. He throws
Oh
him off
my
the edge. He
gosh.
kills him. But now it's
Wait,
it's-
you're getting the name wrong. His name wasn't Mufasa.
Yes, it
Mufasa was
was.
the bad guy, no?
no Scar was the bad
Oh, my bad. Oh shit.
guy. No,
Sorry.
Gojiri, one of my top
No, you're
five
right.
favorite movies. It's
You're
like
right.
number 3.
I was just making sure you knew, you know,
Nah, I got you. So what were we saying?
that you're talking about Bing Bong
Oh yeah, can
from
you tell
Inside
it?
Out. So
I might get teary eyed.
in this movie, Inside Out, it's a feelings movie. They personify different feelings and
Ah,
stuff.
it's too much. So
And
basically,
so there's
she
this
gets
character
dumped
named
in-
Ryder,
Hold on,
and she has a secret imaginary friend, and this imaginary friend like helps her, like he commits the ultimate sacrifice to save her, and it just always brings us to tears.
Yeah, so basically she falls into like this vat of lost memories. And that's to explain why we forget things. And so eventually everything there disappears. And they both get stuck down there and they're trying to use magic to get out. And they're yelling like a song
They're
or
singing
chanting.
Bing Bong song
Yeah.
to get this cart to get them out of like the lost memories.
So the first time they do it, they don't get out. And they fall
Yeah.
back. So you see they pan to what's his name?
Bing Bong.
Bing Bong. I'm sorry. I always think like it's going to be something racist, and I don't want to say it. It just
Oh
sounds
my
weird.
God.
So Bing Bong, he gets in. The camera goes to him. He has this weird look on his face. This is how I remember it anyway. He's like, one more time. We could do it. We could do it. I think they tried like 2 times already. And so they get in and they're doing
Oh,
it.
they
Bing
sing
Bong,
his
Bing
song.
Bong,
They're
Bing
like,
Bong.
"Who's your friend who loves to
resident
play
friend?"
Bing Bong, Bing Bong?"
So right as they get to the edge, they start to fall off, and Bing Bong jumps out and uses his magic and pushes her over the top, and sacrifice. Like he's gonna be forgotten. Like, will she forget him? Because
I forget how the movie ends, but I don't think she forgets him because we
that would
I
be
would
even
hate the movie.
extra. That would be extra sad. I gotta look this up.
I would hate the movie if she forgot Bing Bong. But this is a bit of a tangent, huh?
And I know you, Blue, have a couple like Christmas things that happen over time. Mm-hmm. Where'd you find out? I want to know. Everybody wants to know.
I found out some crazy stuff, but some cool stuff, I guess, too. During Saturnalia, that the
Saturnalia.
period between December 17th and the 25th, courthouses were closed. So a lot of people found that as their opportunity to commit crimes, and they did a lot of like really like messed up
Purge.
things during that stuff. Yeah, to me, it sounded like a purge week, and
That's crazy. But could
yeah, and
you
people
just
also
hold them like in like jail until the week
no,
is
they
over?
were like, nah, we gonna be a part
we
of the
celebrating
purge
too.
too.
Oh,
You know
it's
what I
kinda
mean?
like they're gonna shut down the restaurants too.
I was
because-
gonna say that, yup. You gotta let the restaurant industry people take a fucking break.
Yeah, because I worked Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I got Christmas Eve off, but I know some people work Christmas Eve and Christmas. And I actually work New Year's Eve and New Year's, so you know, whatever. It's fine. There were like theorists, I guess, that also said that maybe because Saturnalia ended in December 25th, that's why we also celebrate the December 25th. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it was chosen.
Constantine, yeah, took over.
Yeah.
Basically, this is it's like what we said earlier. Like Christian church would come in and say, "Oh, this is really popular. We want to be that. We want that to be involved with us.
Yeah.
So you like our religion more." Their
Right.
religion was just basically. I always wondered what paganism is, and paganism is basically if you don't believe in any of the major religions with the one true God. So anything that's not like Christianity, Muslim, Judaism, I don't know about Confucianism. I don't know if they consider that pagan, but like this is just like people who don't have that like one true God,
Yeah.
and so it's switched over time. But that's not a bad thing either. Like if there is a true God, then now you're following him. If there's not, then we didn't really lose anything either.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, fun fact that Germans were the first to cut down a tree and stuff them in their house.
Oh, is that
So-
why Prince? What's his name? It's one of your. It's one. I know you're going to talk about that. I'll bring it up later. But go ahead.
But yeah, so back then, people just did the branches and stuff, the bows, the evergreen bows or whatever. And Germans were the first to just be like, "Fuck it, we're gonna bring this whole tree in." And also they did other like symbolic tree stuff, like did a pyramid, like a wood pyramid. And then like because back then the wood was scarce, like whenever wood was scarce, they would just do a little pyramid and stick some branches in that. And still did like the shape of the tree.
An
It's
artificial based type of tree, but it's a real
basically,
tree, but like
yeah,
big a little.
yeah.
And then Queen Victoria.
Oh yeah, Queen Victoria. We can actually thank Queen Victoria for making the Christmas tree fashionable when she was sketched in Illustrated London News in 1846.
Yeah, her husband was actually the Prince of Germany. So
Yeah.
when you said Germany was the first people to do it, he was just following
They
his
really
tradition.
did do it.
And he was just like, you're my wife. I'm cutting you a tree down. We're bringing it inside. And I think she loved it. And then, yeah, they had her draw
She
it.
must have.
And then when that picture came to America, that's what actually helped America Christmas trees and all Christmas trees kind of blast off more.
And on some New York news, the Rockefeller Center tree dates back to 1931 when some construction workers put up a small Christmas tree in the middle of a construction site. I guess they saw it and thought it was really cute. And 2 years later, they put another tree up with some lights on it. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And now it's like this competition of who has the best, biggest tree to put in Rockefeller Center.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they be hailing trucks from like different states all over the country. It's pretty crazy.
I want to take a quick second to talk about Santa Claus. Because this mofo got so many different names, and I don't even know why he doesn't have any of them.
Yo, it's true though, because like I know all different cultures say different things, but I know that in America he has like 6 names or something. No,
Yeah, 4.
I don't know.
Close,
Yeah.
it was 4. Can you name any of the 4?
I don't know, like Saint Nick.
There's 1, yeah.
Santa Claus. I don't
Yeah.
know. Father Christmas.
Yeah,
or something
Jed
like that.
Maros in Russian.
Yeah.
Or Father Time.
I don't know.
Kris
I don't know.
Kringle.
Mr. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so basically, Santa Claus is based on this 4th century Greek bishop or monk. I'm getting like conflicting reports on that one.
Okay.
And so he goes to Myra, which is now what we call Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very known for giving out gifts and being generous and giving to the poor. So the whole image of Santa Claus was based on Saint Nicholas, for that's how much he gave. He's a saint of giving, like
Yeah.
gift giving.
That's crazy. That's like modern day, like Mr. Beast or like Oprah
Yeah.
in her time.
Yeah. So we call Santa Claus Saint Nick because it's a nickname to his old school roots.
Okay.
The one that confused me the most was Kris Kringle. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you never really think of Kris Kringle when you think of Santa Claus. Maybe it's just like I think I got that from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or like Santa Claus Coming to Town. The really old ones. I think
Yeah.
they called him Kris
Is
Kringle.
that not like what? Didn't Martin Luther King do something? Not Martin Luther King. I keep making the mistake. Martin Luther or whatever. In his time, he did something called like Kris Kringle.
Yeah.
Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I left.
I
that
think
paper.
everybody had their own thing, so I get confused.
All right. So yeah, Martin Luther introduced the Kris Kindle, or Christ Kindle. He was a figure who would give out gifts to kids and stuff like that, based on Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
So over time, it was introduced in Germany, but over time, like the 1840s, it started to modify and move outwards, and the name over time evolved to Kris Kringle, and just kind of like stuck as another name for Santa Claus, since Santa Claus is based on Saint Nick, and this one's basically based on Saint Nick.
I think I've heard as Kris Kringle, like jobs will be like, oh, we're doing a Kris Kringle, and then I guess that's what that is.
Yeah, it's basically Santa.
Yeah, that's cute. Now we do like Secret Santa or a White Elephant.
Yeah. Then there's Father Christmas, which I don't know. I don't hear a lot of it. But basically, it was an old bearded man who wore a red or blue or even white suit with
Okay.
fur trimming. Basically, what Santa sounds like. Even
Santa
wore the
or
wizard hat.
or Jet Maros, he wore blue
Yeah.
or wears blue. I mean,
So the nickname Santa actually comes from Saint Nicholas also. It comes from the Dutch name for Saint Nick.
Okay.
So they call him Sint Klaas.
Sinterklaas. Okay.
Sinterklaas. Sorry.
Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas. So it over time became Santa Claus.
Right, accent and everything, yeah.
So they call Santa Claus Saint Nick because he's actually Saint Nick.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was cool because I feel like, sometimes we celebrate things and we don't even know why we're celebrating them. Oh, I don't know. We just do this because my family does this every year. But why?
Wait, but whose culture does Santa Claus? What is that?
Dutch.
Dutch?
Sinterklaas. Yeah, like where
Krampus, yeah, we were talking about that. So that's like in Germany, they it's like the evil Santa. Apparently, that's Santa's evil twin.
The Christmas monster.
Yeah, like instead of giving good gifts to good boys and girls, he'll like punish the boys and girls
And
who,
bring them
were
to
bad.
hell.
Yeah. Watch out for Krampus.
And then I throw in some fun facts about Christmas.
All right.
So like the stocking hanging, it's it's you put it on the fireplace. You put and then when you wake up, there's like candy or like when I was a kid,
Little
like toothbrushes, candy, like all the Christmas stuff that you. Sometimes we find like Matchbox
It's just like
cars.
little gifts that could fit inside a stocking.
So that actually came from Saint Nicholas too. Because back in the day, he actually knew this guy who was widowed. His wife died, and he had 3 daughters, and he didn't have the money to pay for his daughters' dowries.
What are dowries?
Dowries are like a payment that you give to the suitor, the male. Or I thought it was the other way around. I thought you would give it to the men. So like you buy the women, but I
Wait.
guess they sell the women basically. Like someone has to pay you for you have to pay them to take them off your hands basically.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he couldn't afford it, so none of his daughters could get married. So they
Okay.
got stuck without love. Well, I guess back then they didn't love, but still, you raise a family. That's you love. You get your kids and stuff like that. And they so happened Saint Nicholas came by, knew the man wouldn't take charity, so he decided to take these gold balls like nuggets and drop them down the chimney. What he didn't know was that his daughters were drying their stockings at the fireplace, and when he dropped them down, they actually fell in the stockings.
Oh wow.
So that's why, you get, did you get gold or coal in your stockings? Is because that's what Santa does. He just drops shit in your stocking.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty.
I
cool.
really got stuck on that dowry shit. I don't know, what? Your father pays to get rid of you? That's fucked up. And also, I feel like in my stockings they'll put Visine and lighters and shit. That's what we did our stocking.
Oh, that'd be cool, like a 420 one.
Yeah.
Like you put green ones up so everyone knows, that's 420 right there.
Be like, oh, the gods send us a lighter. Thank you.
So another fun fact is some people believe Coca-Cola invented Santa. Others believe they didn't have anything to do with him. But
Yeah.
they did. Sorry about that. They did actually mold Santa into the image that he is now, this fat, jolly guy wearing a red suit. There's been stories where he's wearing the red suit and not wearing the red suit. There's stories with the beard, without the beard. But a lot of stories, the pictures of Santa back in the day were kind of creepy. Like Slenderman looking, like tall, big beard, like a creepy looking Dumbledore.
That is really creepy.
So what Coke did was they didn't invent Santa. They just kind of tweaked him into this holly jolly, merry man.
The cute Santa we're seeing out.
Yeah, with the
thanks
twinkle
to
in his
Coca-Cola.
eyes. Yeah. And it was a marketing ploy back in the day.
Yeah, I
Christmas
mean,
coming around.
even Mickey Mouse got a makeover because that motherfucker looked really creepy back then.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Still creeps me out.
Old cartoons kind of creep me out.
Yeah. Very liminal.
Yeah. And so the Father Christmas, he was actually depicted as a tall, thin, bearded man.
Okay.
So this is a character though that kind of just blended into Santa Claus. It's basically two different people come up with the same idea with similar looks and stuff like that, and one just became popular, so they took everything over. Like when you say you Xerox something, it's like not all Xeroxers or not all copy machines are Xerox.
Right.
So like, or jacuzzis. Not all hot tubs are jacuzzis. It's just the one that everyone knows of.
Spas.
Spas. You and your good girls. And then the last one I have for this evening, so we can get you back to your holiday week. You know, play your fun games and everything you got. Jingle Bells was actually intended to be a Thanksgiving holiday song.
Oh, wow.
And I please look up the lyrics. If you look it up, be careful. You might get some in German, but the original lyrics of Jingle Bells. There's actually one verse where they talk about, now the ground is white, go it while you're young, take the girl tonight, and sing their sleighing song. Well, this sleighing song. And then if you listen to the other things, it reminds me of that NWA song, Cruising Down, what is it again?
Cruising down the street in my 6-4.
He's basically talking about, like, I see these freaks over here, they got the knuckleheads down here. He's just talking about what he sees as he's driving down the block. That's what they basically is. It's like the homie's running through the neighborhood. He crashes his sleigh one time. Some guy laughs at him. He's like, "Yo, you got beef?" Basically,
yeah, I guess there's a lot of drama.
So this shorty over here was like, "Yo, get in my sleigh. We'll go for a ride." And they're encouraging it. They're like, "Yeah, go for it, shorty. You only live once, and you're young. Get it while you can. Ooh, it's cold outside. Come inside. Get warm."
Yo, you crazy. All right, thanks for listening, y'all. Hope you learned something. Hope I didn't really ruin it that bad for you, because Christmas is still a pretty cool holiday.
I think it made it better for me.
For those of you who didn't have anybody to celebrate with, we're here for you. You know, I know the holidays are really hard for some people, so we're thinking of you. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I've actually spent quite a few holidays alone. It's not the best feeling. But I did go on to, like, listen to the radio and the podcast and music, and it kind of helped a little bit. So if you're doing that, we appreciate you. Always check on yourself. Like, it's very important to know how you're feeling, why you're feeling, especially at this time. It's easy to get depressed. So if you don't have anybody to talk to, you can find professionals to talk to.
You can also reach out to us. I don't know if we give the best advice, but we'll always be here to listen.
Yeah.
And like, check in on yourself, check in on your friends, and
if you
please
like
give us
this,
a like.
if you like this, any platform you listen to, give a follow, a like, a comment. It helps us out, because if we get more likes and stuff to certain things on the episode, then we know, all right, our audience loves this. Let's talk about more like this stuff.
Right? Yeah, it lets us know that you like it, and we'll keep it up. Keep on keeping up.
And as always.
Said that part already.
Yeah, but let's go back to it.
Check on your friends, guys.
And everyone deserves love, even you.
Bye.
This has been an 87.
87 point.
Go ahead.
This has been an 87.9 WKMU production. Signing out.
Off. Bye.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.